Hi there, thanks for checking out our channel. This is just a testing video. Talk a little bit about this unit. This is one that we just repaired for a customer. These things have common problems with them. The 200 mile and the 100 mile Zarebas have similar issues that go on with them. Not all the time, but usually there's like one or two main parts that go bad, and then it just back feeds all the way across and it has a chain reaction of problems. But we work on a lot of these for people, and you know, if you've got one of these that needs to be repaired because it's broken, you know, give us a call or send it off to us. We work on all brands under the sun, not just Zareba, but you know, anything that's built today that's electric fence related, or ones that were built 60 years ago, or anything in between. We'll work on any of them, no matter how old or how new. Not all of them can be fixed, but you know, if you send something to us, we do give you a free quote. We don't charge you a penny for looking at them. You know, if we do fix something, the repairs that we do get a 1.5-year warranty on the repairs. Lightning damage is included. But if you'd like to subscribe to our channel, we'd appreciate that. If you'd like to hit the thumbs up button, you know, we'd appreciate that too. You can find out a little bit more about us on our website, which is fencerfixer.com, and fencer and fixer is spelled with an F as in Frank on both words, but we're located here in the United States. We get units shipped to us from all over the United States. We've helped out a few people overseas in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, north of us, and in Europe in a few places. We've helped out people with troubleshooting and parts. Occasionally they've got an old unit that they, you know, that they need help with troubleshooting, and but luckily on some parts, whether it's a 220 volt coming in, 120 volt coming in, sometimes the output section of a unit is the same. It doesn't care what's coming into, as long as it's the right voltage that it's designed for on the board putting into the transformer. So we have sold some parts to some guys and people over in you know, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, and then a few people up in Canada. So, but anyways, let's get into this thing, and we'll tell a little bit about it. This is a 100-mile unit by Zareba. They've got some other brands out there that are the same thing. American Farm Works has a unit at the tractor supply store, like 120 miles, but I don't know where to get that extra 20 miles at, because it's all the same on the inside, but they say 120 miles on it. And then Blitzer, Red Snapper have got their 100-mile things. They got the A100Li on some of the models. This is a EAC100M-Z. It's just a different model number, but same guts on the inside. But they've been around quite a while. This particular unit is not very old. It's a 2016 model based on when it was built. Just an honest thing about these, I'm not a huge fan of the Zareba units. At least they're 100 and 200 mile. They got more problems with those two models than I see with their smaller ones. They're 50 miles and smaller. I don't see hardly any issues with them except for their boards. But these 100 and 200 miles, we work on more of this size and 200 mile size than we do any other model of the Zareba stuff. So if you've got one, you know, I'll be happy to work on it. I personally never buy one, but that's just my 2 cents. Just because they had the same dumb things that go wrong with them. So, but when they work really well. They just have a, you know, longevity wise. Sometimes you could buy, say, 10 of these things. 6 or 7 might run you quite a few years, and the other 2 or 3 or 4, you know, it fell once within warranty, or they fell right outside the warranty, or within a 5-year time you might get it fixed 3 times. So it's just hard to tell with these things. They get real warm on the inside. That's why these vents are on here. I think they got them on the back too, because they get a little warm, and that might be part of the issue. Maybe the things are just getting too hot inside, but it is what it is. This has one little light on it that flashes. It's just a fence OK light. If this light's flashing when you're hooked up to the fence and ground, that means your fence isn't loaded down and you should be good to go. But you always want to use a fence tester on the fence to see what you're getting at your terminals or at your fence itself. If you're getting over 4,000 volts, 5,000 volts at your fence, you should be good to go. If for some reason your fence is reading less than 4 or less than 3, this light usually goes out. That means you've usually got a bad short out there on the fence somewhere. If you're not sure if it's the energizer or the fence, Easiest way to do it is unhook the charger, from the fence and ground, plug it back in, see if that light goes back to flashing. If it does, and it wasn't before, you've got a short touch, dragging it down hard enough that it's causing this light not to flash because it's below, 3,000 volts probably. And the only other way to do it is to put a tester right at your terminals with no fence and ground and see what you get there. You should get about 7,000 to 8,000 volts or higher. But we'll hook this unit up to a tester here. I've got a couple testers I can hook up to, but we'll just use this little mechanical one here and see what we get out of it. See, we're getting about 8.5 kV out of it, maybe close to 9. Well, hold on. This mechanical one it's didn't like the jolt this one was putting out, so it's sort of arcing internally. Let me find another tester here. We'll here we'll just use the fancy. Let's use this Zareba thing. All right, let's see. This is the ground side. This is your hot side. Little prongs on top. This says 10.8 kV. So yeah, this mechanical tester, electromechanical, I like it. It does a good job, but you get to a certain joule output, it starts arcing inside here because it doesn't like that high joule. This is 6 output joules, so it's probably like 10 stored. So it packs a pretty good wallop. Now we'll just go across the terminals here. So see, it throws a pretty good spark. So this unit is all ready to go. I'm going to pack it up today and ship it back to the customer, and they're good to go. But if you need any help with one of these, give us a call. If you want to send one to us for repair, we'd be happy to look at it. They're usually not too expensive to repair. We can usually repair the circuit boards on the inside versus replacing them, which saves money. But sometimes you have, sometimes you have to repair or replace the boards, but inside there. But we stock all the parts here to either repair the boards or replacement boards. But if you don't know what you're testing or what you're looking at, it's you're just guessing half the time. And so I've done some few things over the phone with people, and sometimes we luck out and it's the right parts that they needed, and it works just fine as long as they install them correctly and solder correctly. If they're not knowing what they're testing and we're just up in the air, we have done some guessing games and thought we were on the right track, sent the parts to the customer, and then it ended up not being the right part, ended up not working right, or they installed them wrong, or they weren't testing it right and we thought they were. It's just hard to do certain things over the phone. It's just like trying to tell someone how to diagnose an engine or something over the phone. It's just hard unless you're right there in person with the person that's doing it. So I'll do my best over the phone or through emails, but it would almost be better just to send it to us. Let us work on it for you. We'll give you a free quote, so we don't charge you anything up front for looking at it. So you have just your shipping charge to get it here. And once we figure out what's wrong with it, we'll call you or email you, whatever you prefer, and then or both. And then we'll give you a quote. And if you give us the okay, then we'll finish fixing it for you and get it back to you. So free quotes, 18-month warranties, and everything that we work on. So until we do another video, how to fix something or one that we've worked on, or how to test one or how one works and everything, we will see you guys later.